What is up? Something spectacular. Spider Spy. Spectator Specpires here. Specpires here. Specpires here. You can call me Mr. Michael Myers person, Mr. Halloween person, Mr. October person, Mr. Halloween Spirit person, because it's time for me to review the 2018 Halloween movie, which is a direct sequel to the 1978 Halloween film directed by John Carpenter. So, as you can see, here's the DVD cover with Michael Myers' face, his iconic mask in the front. And I'm just gonna get in position. And, here's the side. Here's the back. So, this film is set 40 years after the events of the original Halloween film. It stars Jamie Lee Curtis from the original Halloween movie as Laurie Strode. She's a really interesting character in this movie, I'll admit it, because how much she's changed since the 40 years. So it's about Laurie Strode living in isolation in some form after what Michael Myers did 40 years ago. Like he traumatized her by trying to kill her and kill her friends. And she's been preparing to take him down in the event that he would escape. Because you see, in this continuity, none of the other sequels that were made between the original Halloween movie from 1978 and this film from 2018, they ever happened. Like, they don't take place. They're discarded from continuity. Like, they're ignored, all the events. Even 1981's Halloween 2, which I deem as a very underrated Halloween horror movie sequel in general, in my honest opinion. But they did the right thing by deciding to discard the continuity of those other films, because they made the story more interesting and more understanding. In a sense. It also stars Judy Greer as Laurie Strode's daughter. I forget her name already, the character. And Andy Matichak as Allison, Laurie Strode's granddaughter, who's basically like the new Laurie Strode in this film, in a way. It's like a requel, too, as they mentioned in Scream 2022 and Scream 6, which I'm going to do reviews on in the future, by the way, along with the other 4 movies in the franchise. Excuse me. Holy moly. So Michael Myers escapes from the asylum again, like in the original film, and he goes on another killing spree and he starts another manhunt to look for Laurie Strode. And also, the thing to point out, interesting in this continuity is that in this continuity, Laurie Strode is not Michael Myers' sister, unlike the 1981 timeline, like H2O, the Thorn trilogy timeline, or the Rob Zombie timeline. Like this film, I'm sorry, I'm so tired right now. They did to make it more interesting and more scary, to make it be like, why is he coming after her? Kind of cliche, even though they're not related. I don't mind the fact that they removed that, but it does feel somewhat weird because I'm still used to thinking that they're brother and sister in some form. In the movie, there is a reference to the plot line by having teenagers talk about like the rumor, like they in the universe, and they spread, they spread a rumor about them being related as brother and sister in this timeline, but it's not true. It's just like a joke or rumor thing. Um, Nick Castle briefly returns as Michael Myers for a cameo in one shot, James Drew Courtney plays Michael Myers in this film. And this movie is very modernized, very good special effects, very good acting, very good references to the other films in the franchise, even the movies that were discarded from continuity, like they make references to Season of the Witch, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which is the only Halloween film to date that features no Michael Myers presence in like the main plot line of the story, although he is kind of referenced on TV because it's a Halloween anthology vibe that John Carpenter wanted to show at the time as a way to reference his previous work at the time. And like it also stars that guy from Remember the Titans. He played the Caucasian football coach who teamed up with the African American coach who was played by Denzel Washington. I forget his name, but like that Caucasian coach, that actor from Remember the Titans, he's in this film. And he plays like a cop. And I like his character. He's really interesting. The cinematography's so good. The symbolism's so good and understanding. Michael's a lot stronger, more terrifying compared to other, in some form. I mean, he's not as aggressive compared to like the Rob Zombie continuity Michael Myers, because this is back to the 1978, like it's canon in this timeline, and Michael Myers is not as aggressive in this situation. But he is a tough guy to fight. It's really interesting. Like, you see Laurie and Michael battle at the end, and a lot of more references there to the film, and like the lighting is good too. That's another thing I need to point out. Like, they did a good job on the detail in the mask, like as you can see here, like to make it look like it aged 40 years, because it was new when he stole it, when he shoplifted it back at the hardware store back in 1978, and it's been held storage for 40 years, which almost half a century. So it had to decay by bacteria and gotten old because lack of oxygen when they put it in the plastic bag, because it was evidence basically. And like, yeah, sorry, I'm gonna keep yawning here. It's just like it's really interesting. Nope. Yeah. It's like oh, and in this continuity, Michael Myers is a rough character, also because not only does he kill adults, but he kills little children too. Yeah. He doesn't kill a lot, but in this movie he killed one. In this movie he killed one child, and I'm like, what the f, I'm like, I'm literally, what? I'm like, what the f, right? What the f, right? So it's crazy. And there's also like bonus features with deleted and extended scenes. Back in Haddonfield making Halloween, the original Scream Queen, The Sound of Fear, Journey of the Mask, The Legacy of Halloween. That sounds interesting. Now I saw this in theater back when it was in theaters back in fall of 2018, and I loved it so effing much. There wasn't a single moment I hated of it. I mean, I didn't like how he killed a little child, but you know what I mean. I love the movie in general overall. And like, I saw it with my mother, and I'll never forget that night. We were like, and after the end, we were like, "What's next?" I was like, "There's gonna be another one," and I was right. It spawned Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, which I'll do reviews on tomorrow and the day after tomorrow at the time of recording. So yeah, like, it's like a new revamp and reintroduction to the Halloween franchise, because like it was the first Halloween movie to come out since after Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 back in 2009, which did terrible. It's actually that actually remains the only Halloween film that I haven't seen. I mean, oh, sorry, I keep yawning. I haven't watched in full. Like, I know what happens in it. Like, Annie outlived her original counterpart, and she died. I mean, that another time we talk about that film. But you know what I mean. Like, I haven't really watched that in full. It's like, so you know, like when they first announced this film, I was like, oh, I'm in. And then when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, I'm so scared and excited at the same time. They said they did a good decision by bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, and I'm really happy. I think that's one of the best things they did about this film, bringing her back. Cause it definitely wouldn't have been same. It would have been by far a completely different story for sure. So yeah, bloody, gory, graphic, and one of the best Halloween and horror movies in general, in my opinion, to date. So yeah, and it never gets old seeing Michael Myers with the signature butcher knife and overall and mask and his mo, his mo. So yeah, that's my review for Halloween 2018. Uh, it's a good film. I actually recommend it. Join me tomorrow as I do a review on Halloween Kills, and then day after tomorrow as I do Halloween Ends. So yeah, rate, favorite, subscribe, and even comment, and talk to you people later. Peace. Later, peace. Don't get too scared, and happy Halloween.